Season 6 then of our Youth Academy Challenge with Pogon means that we are now over halfway through, or just about at the halfway point right now of this challenge. And we are now 3-time champions of the Polish Ekstraklasa. We are 3-time champions of the Polish FA Cup as well. And if we're carrying on with our pattern, we will finish second this season. We finished first in Season 1, second in Season 2, first in Season 3, second in Season 4, first in Season 5, which means in Season 6, it's probably going to be second. As it is the 1st of July, we've also released a couple of players on free transfers after their contract expired. This guy, who played 0 times for us, he's not a very good number 7 goalkeeper, I guess. And Daniel Lonsar, or Lonkar, not quite sure, has also been released from his contract. This one was maybe a mistake, because he's obviously very, very good, but we have, in the last season, brought in some decent young footballers as well, so Lonkar probably wasn't going to play for us a lot this season anyway. As always, with the Youth Academy Challenge, we are locking in a total of 5 players this season. Obviously, Season 6, we could do 6 players that we're locking in, but it means by the time we get to Season 10, we're locking in 10 players, which is absolute madness, and I don't think we're going to have a good enough squad to be able to do that. So we're just sticking with 5 players locked into the starting 11 that have come through our youth intakes. These are players that I've starred myself to basically signal to me and to you that they are hopefully going to be good footballers. Players like Goralski, who is obviously very, very good and is still only 19 years of age. Anyway, let's jump forward to September when the transfer window has closed. We have a bit of money to spend, and by a bit, £42 million. The board wants us to spend this money, by the way, and I'm just refusing to do it because obviously it doesn't help us to spend this money unless we can kind of get some really good young footballers coming through, which also kind of defeats the point, because basically we want them coming through our youth intakes and not from somebody else's. Let's jump forward to September and see what business we have done, which I don't think is going to be a lot. 5 players have left the club, 3 of them, I believe, on permanent deals. Rafael Jagiellio, who is a player who's actually come through their first youth intake for us, he has gone on a permanent deal to GHM, that's it, Zagbele Lubin, and gone out on loan to Wisla Plock. He's gone on a free transfer. Yeah, there you go. Luka Zahovic has also left the club. Wasn't playing. Last couple of seasons, hasn't really played much at all. He's moved over for just £43,000, potentially going up a little bit more. Basically, at the age of 32, he was kind of done. And finally, Tomas Kostrobala has also left the club. After playing 80 first-team appearances over the last couple of seasons, he's moved over to Bayern over in Germany, but has returned on loan until the end of the season. It's £4 million up front, potentially going to 5.5, and there is a hefty sell-on in there as well. So this is not a terrible bit of business at all. And joining the club, we've brought in a left-back for about 3.1 million, I think, £3.1 million. I'm not even going to try and say his name. I will try and say it, won't I? Brzezowski might be his name. Signed from Legia, Polish left-back. Looks very, very good. The reason why we brought him in, obviously, we don't have Baniak anymore. He has not been extending his loan deal for a 3rd season from Napoli, so we've had to bring in somebody else, and this is the guy. And when it comes to players being locked into the starting 11 this season, we are going to be having in defence Mateusz Wolski, who is our decent 19-year-old centre-back now. In midfield, Lukas Gzenko is going to be keeping his place after he accidentally went on loan last season to Resolvia. I feel like this might be the worst one that we've got in our starting 11. We've also got Goralski, who we know, who looks very, very good. He's absolutely ridiculous, and the fact that we've kept hold of him is even more impressive. Christoph Mucha on that left-hand side as well. I am going to introduce a rule. If a player is over 21, I can't consider them to be a youth player anymore. So once Mucha turns 22, let's say, so in 2 seasons' time, he can't get locked into the starting 11, which might be a silly thing to do. And up front, we are going this season with Jan Kmishik, might be his name. He's currently out injured for just another 10 days or so, but he has started off the season very, very well with 2 goals against Gornik, a goal against Piast, a goal against Shakhtar, and a goal against Brookbet Malasia, might be their name. So he started off ridiculously well. 4 goals in 3 league games, 1 goal in the Champions League qualifiers as well. So that is our starting 11, or our starting 5, shall we say, in our team for this season. We obviously, if we have a look at the squad, sort by name, and we can see all of the starred players here. We've got all of these people. Arguably, Kostrobala probably shouldn't count anymore because he's on loan from Bayern. We've still got a lot of people, and some of them, I think, have got some high potential. Sebastian Wilk, obviously, played a lot of football for us, has been dropped for this season. Looking elsewhere, Michael Saigan. I was tempted with Saigan over Wolski, but I feel like Saigan might be better off going out on loan somewhere this season. And who else? I think this guy, Ratowski, might be good, although he's still only 16, so he's got a fair amount of time to develop at the moment. Just taking a look at the facilities for the club, we have been speaking to the board, consistently speaking to the board, by the way, about trying to improve everything. And as you can see, excellent training and new facilities, exceptional academy coaching, and exceptional youth recruitment. I don't think we're at the top, but I think we are definitely one of, if not the best, when it comes to Polish youth intakes. That's very difficult to say. And then from a footballing perspective, obviously that's why we're here, we have won the Polish Super Cup, winning in the final. Who do we beat in the final? We should probably be able to see. It is Radomiak, beating them 3-0. Not in the Polish FA Cup just yet. We are in the Champions League proper, which I think might be the first time we're in the Champions League proper, which is obviously amazing. But when you think we are way down in the 34th placed seed, so only Braga and Dinamo are below us, I think that's how it works. Maybe there's like a group of 7 or 8 of us. Maybe we're all kind of one seed. But yeah, we're going to get battered. If we get out of this group stage, something's gone wrong. And then in the Ekstraklasa, we are currently 2nd place, just 1 point behind Legia because we have lost 2-1 against Lech. We have drawn with Legia and we've won 6 matches. Radomiak, we know we beat Bruk, Bet, Tremelisa, again, can't say it, Piast Gornik, Lechia and Wisla Krakow. So we are doing all right. I would like to win the league again. I don't want to finish 2nd. For what is becoming a pattern. It's definitely becoming a pattern if we finish 2nd, and I don't like it. Well, next thing to do then is to jump forward to the 1st of April, where we'll see our youth intake, see how well we are getting on with probably, I think it's only about 10 or so games left of the season to play when we come back in April. I want to get out of the Champions League group stage, but I feel like we're going to finish maybe 3rd or 4th from bottom. Somehow, we have managed to actually get out of the Champions League group stage. Yes, it is through the playoffs, but we've managed to do it. We've lost 4 matches against Napoli, Monaco, Man City and Porto. You'd expect to lose all 4 of them. We have drawn with Atletico Madrid, which you'd expect us to probably lose that one as well. And we have beaten Bayern and Atalanta and FC Midtjylland. We beat Bayern 4-2. Where did Bayern finish below us? Also, Atletico Madrid finished below us as well. And Atalanta. What happened here? I don't know what's going on there, but we've somehow managed to get through. The problem is, if we then jump forward to the knockout round, we lose against RB Salzburg. So we didn't really get too much further in the competition, but the fact that we got out of the group stage is pretty good. In the league, however, we are currently top by 5 points. Kmisik is the top goal scorer in the league, but we will come back to that in just a moment because we are right now going to take a look at our youth intake. And in case you're wondering, yes, he is still here. Stefan Chapsat is still our youth manager, youth development, head of youth development. That's what they're called for the moment. Notice I said for the moment. Is that a bit of foreshadowing? I'm not quite sure. Anyway, we have got a good intake. 3.5-star intake. We've got 4 players who are top. I've got 2 talents as well that are good, which I'm marking as maybe we want to keep them as well. First up is Radoslav Zak, who's a 15-year-old central midfielder who obviously will need to be retrained. Now, he does not have a high amount of potential, apparently, but his current ability is all right, so I'm going to take a risk on Zach. He is only 15 as well. He's got high determination, which I love, high teamwork, reasonable work rate as well, so he's got some decent mental numbers, technically as well, not awful. 9s, 10s and 11s in there all over the place. Physically as well, 9s, and then a few 11s and a 13 up there as well with his natural fitness. I think my coaches and scouts might be getting this one wrong, so he's coming in. We've also got Masiai Ginter, who is a goalkeeper. He's literally joined us, and he's been starred because he's a goalkeeper, because I'm determined to get one goalkeeper. Season 10, I want to be playing a starred goalkeeper. I'm not going to kind of commit to that, but I want to be playing one. Maybe it's going to be Ginter. Moving into the top talents, we have Jakub Wojcicki, might be his name, who is an attacking midfielder. I'm not sure if he's any good. Mentally looks pretty good. Everything else is kind of a bit all over the place. Like this shape, I do a lot of my kind of analysis, I guess, on players based on shape. This is not a good shape. This is a terrible shape. He's not fast. He can't defend. He can't header. And he can't attack. So he's really good with the ball at his feet if he doesn't have to do anything kind of remotely like he's going forward or backwards. Next up, we've got ourselves a centre-back who I think does look pretty decent. A nice high tackling number of 16 and bravery of 17, 6'2" as well, just 16 years of age. It is Maciej Mazurek, could be his name. Why have I picked Poland to do Youth Academy Challenge? Next Football Manager, I'm going to do it in England because I'll be able to pronounce them. Anyway, Mateus, I think is going to be a pretty good player. He's kind of on my list for maybe getting locks in. Not necessarily season 7, maybe 8, maybe 9. Rafael Matus is another attacking midfielder. Once again, I'm not convinced on this guy, but he's got some decent mental numbers. He's got a pretty awful shape. He's quick, though. I guess that is kind of the one benefit over the other guy, is he's quick. He's also still only 15. And apparently the best player to come through is Martin Wajczuk, might be his name, who is a right winger. He's all right. I quite like him. He's very aggressive. He's got 19 aggression and 16 teamwork, and he's 5'8". I don't know whether any of these things mean anything, but he's apparently the best player to come through our youth intake. Obviously, there are more players here. Some of them have been signed up. Some of them haven't. You'll notice Zach wasn't signed up, and I imagine purely because his potential ability is not very good according to most scouts. But I'm doing it anyway, okay? And the good news, by the way, on the 1st of April, Skinnz has not gone out on loan. So he's been playing so far 26 matches, scoring 7, getting 5 assists, also playing 12 times in the Champions League and a couple in the Polish FA Cup as well. I was going to say it's worrying that he's only played a couple in the Polish FA Cup, but yep, for some reason, we are into the final. Do we only enter the competition? Like here? We do. Okay. No, we enter it in the second round. We enter it in the second round. So we beat Rakar, we beat that team, sure, and then we beat Lodz 5-0 to make it to the semi-final where we will play Lechia. We've got Gornik and Legia as the other teams. I'm hoping we could win the double again, and we're actually going to break the habit and win 2 league titles in a row. We're going to jump forward and find out whether that is actually going to happen. First of all, we are back-to-back champions of the Polish FA Cup, beating Legia in the final 3-2. So we have picked up the double so far this season. Or maybe make that the treble. We have won back-to-back extra classes, winning with a decent gap as well. 9-point gap between Pogon and Lech in second place. So we've broken the habit. We have broken the habit. We've gone from winning every other season, finishing second every other season, to winning 2 seasons in a row. We are where we want to be. In Season 6, we have managed to do some half-decent football, and if we can win the league every season now to the end of the game, that'll be perfect. So looking at players, taking a look at the 5 players that we have locked in, Mateusz Wolski is looking very good. I was not expecting him to get this good, but Wolski is looking very, very good at 20 years of age. He has only scored twice, got 3 assists, but obviously been playing as a centre-back, I imagine. Maybe as a left-back occasionally. Doesn't look like it because he's locked in. But Wolski, I'm very happy with him. Also, he's 16 leadership, so he should be the club captain by now. In defensive midfield, we have Skinnz, who is not very good. 19 years of age. I'm not convinced this is a good idea. Maybe next season we replace Zenko, go with somebody different. But he's done all right. 9 goals, 6 assists, average rating of a 7.02 in the league. So he's actually done quite well in the 33 games he's played. But I feel like, judging by his potential ability, has now dropped down. We might be having to pull the plug on Zenko. Now into the interesting players. Goralski at 20 years of age he's had a cracking season. 18 goals, 18 assists. He is wanted. Who's he wanted by? It's normally Napoli. It's a whole bunch of teams actually over in Saudi Arabia, which we might be able to fend those off. I keep giving him new contracts, by the way, so he's got a 4-year deal. I keep giving him new contracts. He's quite happy here. Obviously, if we keep winning things as well, he should be quite happy to stick around. So, Goralski, for a player that came through in Season 1 and has been locked in since then, 158 league appearances, 57 goals and 52 assists. He's a good footballer. And so is Christoph Mucha. However, is this technically the last season that we can lock Mucha in? I'd say not. I'd say next season is the last one we can lock him in, because once he turns 22, then he's kind of over the age that we kind of want to consider as a youngster. Technically, looks very good. Mentally, looks very good, doesn't he? How was he done? 50 appearances, which is a lot. 15 goals, but just 4 assists from left wing. That's not a lot of assists. Considering his XA is 7.5, he should have got a few more than that. But up front, Jan Kmishik, playing his first season locked in, has scored 42 goals in all competitions, 5 assists, 32 in 29 in the league. He's actually scored better than a goal a game in the Ekstraklasa, which is a lot better than I thought he ever would do. This was a good risk to take. The 6'5" Polish striker who's capped under 20s, he's good. I think we might have a potential superstar on our hands. So, of those 5 players, only Zenko is the one that I'm thinking is not very good. Everyone else there, still looking like a pretty good footballer. Some of the other players as well. So we've got Brzezowski, still not sure how to say his name, in his debut season, 20 assists in all competitions, 2 in the cup, 18 of them in the league. He's wanted. He's very good. He's wanted by Saudi Arabia. Fair enough. Linus Valquist, I will say that name properly at some point. 22 assists in all competitions, 3 goals, playing as a right back, I assume. I think this might be the last season that we have Valquist, or we just let his contract run out. He's got a year left. I'm not going to extend it. I don't see the point because he's getting on a bit. But maybe we try and cash in, get £1 million. I'm not sure what we're going to do with that £1 million because we literally just never spend anything. Kostrobala on loan from Bayern Munich, the team that we actually beat in the Champions League. he's done pretty well. 14 goals, 15 assists. Other players to look at when it comes to goals, we've got Vahan still getting a lot of game time, mostly coming off the bench by the looks of it, scoring 14 and 6 assists as well. We've got Lucas Ferreira, who started twice, came off the bench 25 times, got 7 goals and 6 assists. We've got a good team. We genuinely have a good team. Our number one goalkeeper, by the way, who is it? Is it still Mizda? I'm assuming it's Mizda. Where is he? He's there. Yeah, he's played 50 games. Okay. I did have a worry that we've started playing Salguero. He has played twice. He's not good enough to be our number one at the moment, but he's getting better. Taking a look as well, other players that are starred in the first team. So, Wilk did manage to play a few games, getting 6 goals. He's all right, isn't he? He's not as good as the other guy. We did not play Maslanka by the looks of it. Rydzek did not get a game. This man, Galansky, played a few off the bench. Nothing too exciting. He's actually leaving the club. Apparently, he's going to Lechia. He's out of contract. Well, maybe. That might have been a bit of a dropped ball there. Ratalski came off the bench once. Not very good at the moment, but plenty of time. And Kolodziej. I think Kolodziej could be good, but the problem is he's stuck behind Mucha. So, do we retrade him as a left-back? No, because then he's stuck behind the other guy. Kolodziej might lose out purely on the fact that he plays the same position as other really good players in our squad, which is a shame. That's going to do it then for Season 6 with Pogon in our Youth Academy Challenge. Back-to-back champions of Poland for the first time ever. Next season, are we going to make it 3 out of 3? That would be absolutely amazing. We are obviously still locking in just 5 youth players, but we're now just kind of on a quest to get the best players coming through.